a Sega CD? Huh? What are you waiting for? Nintendo to make one? You have seen the games, right? Wrong answer, man. Show 'em. Want to see more?
Welcome back, guys, to another video. You got Misfit Chris here, and today, guys, we're gonna be talking about the CDX. But before we get into that, just want to let you know how I'm doing. So I'm a little under the weather today. I've had a little bit of a sniffly cold, sore throat kind of thing kind of going on, and a little bit of things have been going on with me. Is I've had a major leak. So we had a major typhoon here on Guam, like a few months back, and my house had leaks, but they got a lot worse during the typhoon. So I recently did a silicone coat on my roof, so no more leaks. So it was really stressful because it was leaking in here and on on my collection and games and TV. So I just recently got the analog dock, and I found it in a puddle of water. Thank God it didn't die. So that was a breath of fresh air that I saved it from the puddle. I mean, I literally just got it. So without further ado, though, let's get into this CDX. So I acquired my CDX about a couple of months ago, and I've been working on it to try to get it running. And so anyways, I put in a new laser, and put in a new motor into the CDX. And here's my unit right here. And so collecting for the Sega CDX is very expensive. And they only made 5,000 units of the Sega CDX. And this one here actually sat in the sun for quite a while, because this button here is supposed to actually be blue, this reset button. So I replaced the laser and replaced the CD motor in it. And I still haven't had any luck getting it going. It does power on just fine. And excuse me, guys. And so yeah, I've really just had this big fascination with the Sega CDX. And I just love the design of the console. I love the way that it looks. It was so ahead of its time. I mean, if they'd released it like closer to when the Sega Genesis came out, maybe a year or two, because it was competing basically with the 32X and the Sega Saturn all at the same time. So that stuff came out, and no one cared. I mean, it was a great creation. It could play Sega Genesis cartridges, and it could play Sega CD games with amazing audio and video cutscenes. And so it was cutting edge at the time, guys. So I don't know, I guess that just really, really fascinates me. I've been so fascinated, I can't stop thinking about the Sega CDX. It's just been kind of like this little journey with the Sega CDX. So I've took it apart like three times trying to repair it, and I've had little luck repairing it. So what I've decided to do is I'm gonna get a Mega, I'll throw a picture of it. The Mega EverDrive Pro from Crix. And you can actually play Sega CD-ROMs through the cartridge, Sega Genesis cartridge slot on the Sega CDX. So Sega CDX is so expensive to collect for, and I was just like, you know what, like, let me just go the easy route, because you can also play 32X games on a you can get a complete 32X library on a Crix EverDrive card, and so that's kind of one of my main goals, you know, as far as, you know, playing the CDX. I can't get the CD disk drive to work, and it's like, man, you know, like, I'm just gonna do the EverDrive, and it's gonna solve all my problems, and I don't gotta go out and spend a ton of money to collect for it, as much as I would love to collect for it. So anyways, that's just a little bit of what's been going on with the Sega CDX. So let's go over the, you saw the console, so let's go over some of the hardware, so some of the do's and don'ts. So here's the do. So let me get it around this table there. All right, so this is not, it's a mess, but this is not an official Sega CDX power adapter, and there's an official one, and they only, like I said, they only made 5,000 units, but see, this is what you're looking here for. 9.5 volts. 9.5 volts, that's what it runs on, see? So anything lower than that, you know, anything higher, a little higher is fine, but, you know, and so it has the connector that it needs to plug in, and so anything lower than that is going to damage your Sega CDX, so do not use it. This is a pretty high quality. I'll throw up a link where I got this. This Guy Supplies. They're not all the same, so I was lucky to get a Sony one. I don't know if you order from him what you'll get, but he has apparently high quality, you know, third-party adapters that will work with your Sega CDX. So I was looking all over eBay, couldn't find one. So the don't is do not use your official Sega Genesis power adapter. It will damage your Sega CDX, so do not use this. So that's, let's see, then we got, so if you want to get fancy, like this CRT, or this PVM behind me, you can get Sega Genesis RGB cables, you know, to get the clearest, crispest picture on your PVM. And I will throw you a link to this where I got this on Amazon, down in the description. So then next up, let's see, we got so this just uses controllers just like the Sega Genesis, same thing. You can just use a regular Sega Genesis 6-button or 3-button controller, or an 8-bit DO, or whatever you want to use. You can use wireless receivers on it, and all right, so I think that does the hardware part there. So let's, like, I got a couple Sega CD games here. I got Cobra Command and Prince of Persia. Look at that box art, man. I love it. I just love my first experience with Prince of Persia was on the iMac, or not the iMac, the Macintosh, the original Macintosh. So that was my first experience playing Prince of Persia. And I mean, I could hold this up here for a minute. It's just beautiful artwork, man. And that's the back there. Give you a minute if you want to read that. Check out some of yeah, heck yeah. That's Prince of Persia. And then we got Cobra Command. And I like it. I mean, the artwork back in the day on these games is just awesome. It's so nostalgic, man. They just don't do it like this anymore. Yeah. Yes. Very nice. And so these are complete, so I can show you guys. So this is the early on Sega CD games. So they just came like this on the inside, like that, with no spine art or anything like that on it. And then they came with the manual. So, Cobra Command manual. And I don't think really most of them were color. They were just, you know, black and white, like a lot of the typical Sega Genesis manuals. You know? And so, registration card in the back, limited offer stuff. yeah, so that's kind of how the early on ones came. The ones later on came in like the long box cases, like for the Saturn. So basically the exact same case that a Saturn game would come in is what the Sega the later Sega CD games came in. So far as Sega CD consoles, Sega CDXs are not the most dependable. They are the hardest to the hardest to repair, other than the Mega CD or the Sega CD, or I think it's called Multi-Mega. The Multi-Mega is what the CDX is called, like over in Europe and stuff. And they actually came out over there in 1995, I do believe. Yeah, I've just had this big fascination with the Sega. This is gonna be a short video today, guys. So I just had this big fascination with the Sega CD lately, and I was pretty sad that I couldn't get it working. I couldn't get it running, So unfortunately, I couldn't get it running. So I'm just going the easy route with the flash cart. And I think that'll suffice. One of the main games, I'm going to throw it up here, maybe a little bit of game footage of it or something, a little clip of the game, is the Terminator. So there's a really, all the other Terminator games I've played, like, the arcade game, the light gun one on Super Nintendo, or Sega with the Mancer, those are pretty cool. Like, I've never tried those out, but I heard they're pretty cool, kind of like a home port of the arcade game. But this one's a side-scroller, and it's kind of like, it's a run and gun. So it's a run and gun shooter, kind of like Contra or whatever. But it's really, decent. It's about a $200 game. And so that's... Just that one game has gotten me kind of like really excited to play on the Sega CDX, and so Sega CDX or the Sega CD, you can only play it on the Model 1 or 2 or the Sega CD, and then if you want to play it like on, you can actually play it also on the Analog Mega SG, and you can play it on, so you have to mod your Sega Nomad in order to be able to play it on, or I'm not sure if you can. Let me know down in the comments if you can mod a Sega Model 1 or 2 to play Sega CD games on a Crix EverDrive card. So, alright guys, so that's pretty much, so that, like I was saying, what did they make? They made 5,000 units, so it is rare, it is highly collectible, and, I feel very lucky to get one. I mean, I knew there's a really high possibility when I grabbed it that it wasn't going to work, but I was going to have fun trying to repair it or whatever. But at least the Genesis slot works, and I'm going to be able to play Sega CD games on it, which is going to be super cool. I'm going to have the whole library on a flash cart, so that's going to be awesome. And I'll probably make a little video on that once I get the flash cart, and I got the whole Sega CD library on there. And to make it even more special, I've got to get a Sega 32X. I actually have one that I'm working on, and it does work, but it has issues. And so that'd be kind of cool to have the complete Sega 32X library and also the complete Sega CD library on a Crix cart, and just being able to play that on the Sega CDX. So, anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for the Sega CDX today. I just really wanted to do a video on the Sega CDX because it's such an amazing, great innovation of a console, and it's sad that it didn't get more love. And I think that they're made more than 5,000. You can easily go on eBay and find Sega CDXs. Working ones go around for 500, even broken ones go for like 200. I was on the fence. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it or get rid of it, but now that I know I can play on the flash card on it, I think that's what I'm going to do. So anyways, guys, here at the end, I just want to throw up a couple of goodies I got. So I got these at Ross on Guam. I lucked out on these, and these were $10, so I had to get these. And they're super cool because they're done after Turtles in Time. You know, they kind of did it like after Turtles in Time, so I thought these were really, really cool. Really cool, and so I had to have these for just $10 a piece, and yeah. So anybody that's been following me on this channel knows I'm a big Turtles fan, so I just thought these were super cool. And they're actually, if you look right there, it'll focus. There we go. GameStop exclusive at Ross. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna do it for that's gonna do it for today. And please like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell for all future notifications, for all future uploads, guys. And I will catch you on the next one.